Good morning, everyone. Vidette Mayer here. I wanted to record a daily message, or a message for you. I don't know. I was sitting in my own meditation and journaling experience this morning, and there was a message that was really wanting to come through. So I allowed it to come through, and I'm going to share this with you because I do believe that we are all co-creating this reality together. There are many of us that are on this ascension journey consciously, and all that really means is that we are attempting to live in, what the trendy way of putting it is, in a high vibe, and allowing ourselves to fully embrace and enjoy life no matter what life presents to us. And as we know in our human existence, we are experiencing a very big paradox in our everyday living. We have these moments and these circumstances in the world that may take us into fear. And I want to remind you that there is a vested interest in a subset of our collective to keep us in fear. And my calling, my job, so to speak, is to remind you of the fact that you are not a human being first. You are not a 3D being first. You are a multidimensional being, which means you are a spiritual being. You are a soul. You are of a consciousness that is not of this world. Therefore, you do not have to play along with what is delivered in this world. Your responsibility in how you create your life is 100% yours. How you feel in everyday life is 100% yours. And if you are still in the existence or the understanding that outside circumstances create the feeling that you have or create your experience, you are completely missing the mark. I'm going to be really truthful here. You are completely missing the mark, and you are living from your third dimensional physicality. What we're doing here in this space is really coming together to remind you that you are a higher consciousness first. And when you operate from that higher consciousness, it then comes down into your fourth dimensional self, where your feelings and your emotions will reflect that of your higher being, your higher self. And when your emotional consciousness is at a higher frequency, which means a higher feeling, and those higher feelings, those higher frequencies of love and joy, ultimate trust, divine nature, however you operate in that fourth dimensional reality of emotional wellness, then filters down to your experience, your physical experience. So when you are in your physical experience, operating first from that higher dimensional reality of the fifth dimension, which is your ultimate consciousness, your ultimate truth, your ultimate higher self, your outward expression of life starts to shift, and you will start to shift away from that which brings you fear or anger or frustration or resentment. So these messages are here in the You Collective. They are brought here by our co-creative consciousnesses, because there is something, if you are listening to this, there is something within you, in your higher consciousness, that is co-creating in a spiritual and in a multi-dimensional way with my consciousness and with anyone else who is listening to this, who will listen to this. recording, we are all co-creating this because we are all in a place where there might be some fear showing up. So that is probably the prompting that I felt earlier. There was something in this message that was coming through my journal pages that was meant to be yours as well. So listen to this message in a place of multidimensionality. Know that it is you that's creating this. It is you, your higher self, that is the creator of this message on this 9/9 portal day. So September 9th is a powerful day. For those of you into numerology, 9 is the end of a cycle. And a couple of days ago, I recorded a message that also communicated that there would be an end of a cycle. And what I didn't put together at that moment was that a couple days later was the September 9th portal day. And this is the day of the year that we end a cycle and begin again. It's an amazing, amazing day. It's an amazing energy to be in. So I wanted to give you some insights that came through from your consciousness and mind and everyone else who is co-creating this message, so that you too can understand how important this day is and really understand what to tune into. What is yours to tune into today? So the biggest message that came through is to know that your hard work is paying off. At the end of a cycle, what happens? If you think of anything as it comes to an end, you're kind of at your wit's end at that point, maybe. Maybe you feel some frustration, you're tired, you have given your all, and it's time to then put this cycle to bed, so to speak, so that you can step into a completely new and evolved cycle if you are conscious. Unfortunately, many folks that are attached or unconsciously attached to these cycles repeat the same cycles, right? When we're conscious of how we are living our lives, we are more apt to be able to look at the cycle that we're in. And when we look at that cycle, we can learn the lessons as we go. So by the time we come to a conclusion of a cycle, we are consciously aware of where did we get off course? How did we course correct? Do we need to course correct? We can start to ask ourselves the questions and open up our awareness to what needs to be done in order for us to begin a new cycle in an evolved, in an elevated, in a higher consciousness, and in a higher frequency. So when we're beginning a new cycle from a higher frequency in which we started the last cycle, we are now evolving into a higher expression of ourselves and of that same cycle. So this is really, really important to pay attention to. And I have to just say, as I'm recording this, I am outside. I'm looking at this beautiful setting, a hillside, mountains all around me. The sun is shining. It's a cooler day. I have a sweatshirt on, but it's just, the sun is warm. And this little white feather, which I always associate with little angels, a little white feather just floated by. And I want to share that because this is what being in a higher frequency, in a higher consciousness looks like. As we start to contemplate and look at our awareness and look at different conversations and different messages, and we start to receive messages, nature is going to be our communicator. It is going to be the thing that we can look at, and it will give us symbols that we are on the right track, that the universe is listening, that God, universe, Gus, nature, whatever it is you believe in, is listening. So as I record this message, angels and higher beings of light are with us and also helping to co-create this. They are bringing this message of truth for us in this moment. So understand that whatever this cycle is, this is a general reading, so you'll have to understand what it means for you. You will know what cycle is coming to an end. And you will know what kind of work that you have put in this area of your life. And although you're at the end of the cycle, and it may sometimes feel as though you haven't gotten anywhere, you might sometimes think like, okay, I have gotten somewhere, but I don't really know where it's taken me. I'm not really sure. This message is to remind you that your hard work is paying off. And as you move through this 9-9 portal, this 9-9 portal is going to, the energy of this portal is going to remain open for the next 9 days. So for the next 9 days, it's almost as if you're starting to close the door on this previous cycle, and you're bringing things to an end, so that on that 10th day, you step into the beginning of the next new cycle. So all the work that you've been putting in up until now is starting to become, it's going to become more tangible. You're going to start to see it as you start to close this door in the next 9 days and be in this energy. It's really important that you keep yourself in a higher vibration, in a higher frequency. Keep yourself in the realms of anticipation. Keep yourself in not anxious anticipation, but expectant anticipation. There could be some discomfort in that, or excited discomfort, but ultimately for these next 9 days, trust yourself to give yourself the self-care and the direction to go in the direction of anything that brings you joy. Now, you might have, your ego might speak up and say, well, you can't afford to do that. There's not enough time. There may be some judgment of yourself in allowing yourself to be in the highest of frequencies, the highest of emotional frequencies in these next 9 days, as this portal starts to close the end of this cycle and reopen in a brand new cycle. As long as you are aware of your ego and the judgments it could possibly bring to you, you are then better equipped to understand and recognize when it's ego that's urging you to not be in a higher state of being, versus when it's your soul saying, no, sweet soul, this is ours to do. This is ours to follow the thread of joy in these next 9 days. As you start to do that, pay attention to what you're called to do. You may be called to do something creatively, or you may be called to do more self-care, to sit in meditation longer, to journal out your intentions for this next cycle. You may even allow yourself to call in a new partner, and that doesn't necessarily mean a romantic partner. It could be a partner in business. It could be a new friend. It could be someone, when you're in that higher frequency, you will start to pull in people that you may not have known previously, or maybe someone that you hadn't resonated with yet. But because you're in a higher state of being, your consciousness then resonates with them, and you start to gravitate towards them. There is someone in your resonance that is looking to come in and help you enter into the next evolution of this cycle in whatever area of your life that is evolving into the next cycle. So pay attention as you sit in meditation for today or the next few days. Really, really tune into what is the hard work that you've been doing. Give yourself some gratitude. Give yourself some space to be able to celebrate the work that you've done. Because if you're anything like me or anyone on this journey of ascension, we know that a lot of the hard work is done within. Others around us sometimes can't see the work that we're doing because on the inside, in our consciousness, we are alchemizing all that pulls us down into those lower frequencies of fear and guilt and shame, all of those denser energies. So as you have sat and done the work to bring yourself up into and evolve into a higher state of being in this area of your life, most of that work has been done within. So you might want to logically look at, what does this look like on the outside, this work that I've done? And you might say, well, it really doesn't look like much, but you know, within your consciousness knows that there's been a lot more work done within than most people can recognize. And who cares who recognizes it or not, as long as you do. This is a time when we take personal and self-responsibility for the actual work that we have done within to alchemize all that threatened to pull us down into the depths of despair in this area of your life. And as we move into this new cycle, know that this is the cycle when the evidence of the work that you have put in will start to appear in your fourth and third dimensional realities. This is when you will start to then go into the space of feeling higher and higher levels of emotional well-being around this area of your life in this new circle. This is when you start to see the evidence in your physical life of the work that you've done within. This is when the people, the opportunities, and even the places start to open up and come into your reality. And you have to know this. There is a reminder that's coming through me that it is going to look completely different than you think. Than when maybe you sat in meditation and looked at this area of your life in this previous cycle and you saw it and you envisioned it, you felt it, you knew it intimately. You know the intention that you have for this area of your life. This is when, and as we enter into this new cycle, that is when you have to be completely open to how the universe sends the manifestation of this next cycle into your life, because it's probably going to surprise you. This person or these people, this group, I see people, I see a person that is opening up the manifestation of this next cycle for you is going to be unexpected. It may be someone that you wouldn't expect to have the magical opportunity or answers. It's going to be someone who surprises you. So this is when, as we close the door to this final cycle and enter into the next stage, the next evolution of this manifestation in your life, this is when you have to keep your third eye open, right? Your physical eyes may judge this person or this opportunity and say, oh, that can't be it. That's not how I saw it. No. I wanted it to be this person that came into my life. That is your ego, and that is a judgment of what it should look like. And that is what you and I must be aware of. This is when we start to move into that fourth and fifth dimensional state of being, where our intuition, our inner knowing, that part of us that becomes clearer and clearer with the highest, as we raise our frequency and raise our vibration, though that skill of intuition that inherent skill starts to become clearer and clearer. And that's when we start to move in the direction of things that may not logically make sense. But because we are in that higher frequency of being, we can recognize when an opportunity or when a person is actually the solution. This is not the time to look outside of ourselves and ask someone, hey, do you think this person looks legit? Or what do you think? Or when somebody says, why are you asking that person this, or, trusting that person? Or why are you going in that direction? That doesn't make any sense. That is the judgment of others in our lives. And in these next 9 days, as this portal door starts to close, the end of this cycle, it is really, really important to stay tuned into your inner knowing. Because right now, from here on out for the next 9 days, as you nurture yourself and you stay in those higher frequencies, you start to then turn your attention towards the portal door that opens up and truly takes you and leads you into the next evolution of this stage of your life. This is an amazing few days. This is an amazing portal right now. Know that you are ending a cycle. So if you feel tired, if you feel like you're just done, understand that that is absolutely normal. Understand that right now, specifically, these higher beings that we work with, these higher dimensional beings, our angels, archangels, ancestors, our galactic friends, are all helping us with higher energies coming in from the cosmos. Literally, we're having geomagnetic storms that are flooding our planet with high photonic plasma light. And this light literally is awakening parts of our DNA that have been asleep. And when our DNA awakens, we have 12 strands of DNA. That means that each strand is connected to its resonating chakra. We have 12 chakras, and each of our 12 chakras are resonant with one of our strands of DNA. This is starting to open with this plasma light. Therefore, more and more truths are coming to our awareness. More and more of our psychic abilities are coming online. Our intuition is kind of getting cleansed with this beautiful light. So we have the support of the seen and unseen. So take advantage of it. And I say that from a place of pure potentiality, taking advantage of the energies that are coming in and flowing with them and being with them in your own personal self-care routine, in your own consciousness, blending in with this beautiful photonic light that we are being given and being supported with as we come to an end of a cycle and begin a new one. Sweet soul, this is a potent time. It has been very potent this entire year, but especially today. So take this message to heart. Allow yourself the permission to be able to be about you. Nurture you. Love on you. Be with you. Be with your intentions. Be with your consciousness. Be with your own guides. Simply be in the energy of this cycle coming to an end, so that when you step into that next evolution, you are clear as day and open to all the people and the opportunities that come your way. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of me. I'm so proud of us, because it's this collective, literally it's this collective who are consciously in tune with their own higher selves, with their own multidimensionality, that are pulling the weight, so to speak, of the entire planet and pulling the collective out of the depths of fear in the moment and helping them to evolve and ascend into higher states of being. That is what we are here to do. and be as light workers, star seeds. Call us what you want. If you need to label us, if you need to label something, go ahead and do it. But I know what I know for us is that we are multidimensional beings who have committed and dedicated ourselves to being in this space of our fifth dimensional, multidimensional selves. And when we operate from there, in these higher frequencies, the physicality of who we are and the physicality of our planet completely changes. That's what's most important here. Do not get lost in the physicality. Do not get lost in the circumstances. It is just you hear it all the time. It's an illusion. It's a movie that's playing out. And the movie is playing out based on the consciousness and the creators who are creating it. So if your physical world is not the movie that you want to see, then stop it. Press pause. Go into meditation. Go grab a journal. Get yourself into the consciousness of the creator that creates movies that you're excited to see, because you are creating that which you see in the world. So if you don't want to see something, shut it off. Unfollow it. Put yourself in your bubble. And that bubble is a higher consciousness. You can do this. We can do this. We are doing it. So allow yourself to come into this collective and truly, truly understand that you, sweet soul, are creating the earth, the new earth as we know it. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your dedication. And thank you for your consciousness. I am honored to be on this pathway with you, and I'm honored to be a part of this potent time with you and to be part of the team, so to speak, the collective that is here. People don't know about us, but we do. We know that we are here to raise the consciousness and the emotional energy and the physicality of an entire planet. And I'm so grateful to be on this mission with you. Thank you for being here. I'm going to be recording the Sunrise Sunday for this week here in a couple of hours. And I'd like to invite you over to our YouTube channel where you can subscribe. You can also go to videttemeyer.com and join our email list so that you too can receive all of our messages, all of these messages and Sunrise Sundays and even more in your inbox so that you don't miss a thing. Because together we are co-creating higher consciousness. And as long as we are in tune and in resonance with each other, we will always be here to uplift humanity. Thank you for being a part of this.